Friday night's double, Newcastle Knights and Parramatta Eels. Well done, Parramatta. Their third win for the season. What is doing with the Knights? Their attack has turned to absolute poop. Is that a tally? Like, there is nothing. And when I say what it's doing, there is nothing doing. I called 80 minutes of Newcastle doing nothing. Like, I couldn't see evidence of anything they worked towards during the week implemented in the game, but it was that in any period they will attack the left for a little while, or we'll go left to go right and open up space, or a little play around the ruck, outside, inside. None of that. Nothing.
It was such an insipid performance. It lacked energy. It was, and in front of their, at Newcastle, where they've, they just keep turning up. It was one of the. I think a couple of the sides that lost this weekend, and most games were pretty competitive, but a couple of the sides that lost this weekend played their worst footy of the season. Now, that's saying something about Newcastle, because they've had some pretty ordinary performances this year. But it was more about, and well done, Parramatta. They had some great performance. Lomax was unbelievable. Jack Williams played well. Jack Williams was a handful every time he got the ball. They had a number of really good individual efforts. But it was more about how low Newcastle have sunk. It is officially a slump for the Knights, and their attack is just diabolical. It is just so pedestrian. This is Adam O'Brien on the slump.
Well, clearly disappointed with the result. We're result-wise, attack-wise, everything that we know that's going to be written, we understand that not in a good place. There's some stuff out there overshadowed some really good part, but we're in a bit of a funk, for lack of a better term. We've got some injuries and some inexperience out there, but there's a ton of effort going into in a lot of parts, so we've just got to hang on to that.
Oh, jeez.
The funk's a new way of saying we're in the shitter. We're in the we're
and inexperience. We are some inexperience out there. No, you had one winger who was on debut. The rest were
Fletcher.
You bring back Tyson Gamble, he does nothing. So anyway, it was 300th game for Dane Gagai as well. Where's the, could you imagine Melbourne being that an insipid performance, as you said? It was 300th game?
No, had nothing.
Bulldogs, Roosters, sensational.
What a game.
Many takeaways out of it.
Got off to a slow start, the Doggies. Their attack was, and don't forget they have got a lot of players missing. And I thought that was telling in the first half. I just thought they were just a little off sorts. 14-0 wasn't. It wasn't terminal at that stage, but they needed to come out and grab the first try, and much better in the second half. I thought Matt Burton's kicking game was outstanding, just kept driving the ball and driving the Roosters, forcing them to come out of their own end. In the end, they wore the Roosters down, and the middle started to miss tackles, and it was Sherry and Burton that took advantage of that with their running, but it was a great come from behind win from the Dogs, but Cameron Ciraldo did speak about it, because it had been two slow starts in the space of 8 days.
I don't want to get used to it too much. I think it's great for us as a team to deal with those situations. I think really similar to last week, the first half, the stats probably looked exactly the same. It was like 35% possession for long periods, and we made it pretty hard for ourselves. I thought we looked really tired in the first half because of that. At half-time, I think it was awesome reference point to go back to last week and think about what we did there, and they did a great job in the second half.
Now, Canterbury this week, they would love to have the bye in the Origin build-up. They don't. They play the Dolphins on Thursday night. So these are the players out at this stage. I think this is right, this list. Crichton, Max King, Kurt Mann, Satili Tupanua, Jacob Preston, Jamin Salmon, Jacob Kiraz, and already on the longer-term injury list, Anari Chihuala, Jack Todd, Daniel Saluka Fafita, Sam Hughes. A lot of players out.
Yep.
A lot of players out from your top 30 for the Bulldogs. Dolphins, you would think, would be a chance on Thursday night. Into Saturday we go. Dolphins, Warriors. Warriors just keep accumulating points. I think...
did you call this one?
No, I didn't call that one. But I just feel that they can get better. I think this is the biggest positive. Every time I come away from Warriors, I think they can get better. So they're putting points in the bank. They've now had 8 wins for the season, 18 points, and I think they can get better. They are looking rock solid to be playing finals football and quite possibly top 4.
Yeah, who would have thought without Adam Fanua-Blake, Tohu Harris, Sean Johnson, probably to a lesser degree because he was great in 23, spent a lot of time out last year, but those 3 experienced players and the impact that they made, take them out of the side. I didn't have the Warriors in my 8. I know you were a little bit different. Did you have them in your eight? You
yeah,
certainly had Metcalf
That's
having
right.
a good season.
I thought Metcalf could lead them. I absolutely. I thought that his time would come, and if injuries were kind,
Yep.
and to this point, touch wood, they have been, that he's good enough to be a star 7, and I'm really happy for him. He's a terrific young fella.
Yeah, that's 5 in a row now. 5 in a row.
Yeah.
They won their last, and that was their 3rd game in a row in Australia, and they won all those games. Outstanding. Like Kurt Capewell's having his best season for the last couple of seasons. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck returned. Should be the fullback.
Yes, all there. Hellasima blokes like that
Mitch
doing
Barnett,
a job.
Outstanding. Wade Egan's playing great footy.
Very good, very good.
So they're all playing well.
Second game on Saturday. What we said about the Knights could also apply to the Cowboys. Not quite as bad, but at home against a Manly side that have lost 4 of their last 5 and only played okay. Manly, 100% effort, 100% scramble, but in terms of big plays and opening them up, I thought Cherry Evans' contribution was pretty modest. Luke Brooks, Tom Trbojevic didn't bust a tackle.
Yep.
So the Cowboys, it's not like they had a whole lot of heat thrown at them, but the Cowboys didn't attack themselves. Just what's going on?
Yeah, I know. Well, they made the change, Jackson Purdue, which I think we're all excited about because Purdue had been very good in the centres, grew up playing in the halves, so it wasn't a foreign position to him, but it just didn't work. Whatever happened, it just didn't work, and Drinkwater was a little bit off, and Nane was also didn't make a whole lot of impact. Ben Trbojevic, talking of the Trbojevics, I thought Ben was outstanding. Lehigh Hopewadi got through a ton of work. It was just one of those games where Manly did enough to win, but the Cowboys. I agree, Andrew. Todd Payton were going, wow, we were pretty ordinary.
It does. It really puts question mark over them. So over the past month, they had averaged over 30 points a game. So you got reason to be confident. And surely you don't. I know complacency is a word, and that, but it wasn't a matter of complacency. It was a matter of just the other team. Like it really was. They wanted it more for whatever reason. Like why would that be? Why would that be?
Coming off the draw against Penrith, where they they were down, they got back, got to 30. 30 all with the Panthers, and they had been good. Like over the last month, the Cowboys had started to look okay.
On form, Reece Robson's not the New South Wales hooker, but he is. Well, he's there. He keeps his
incumbent.
Yep. But he's not having. But that's on the back of a forward pack, not surging forward there. Plays like Griffin Neame. Griffin Neame off the bench. What's happened to his impact? So
Missing.
Anyway.
Missing.
Cowboys, a few problems.
Yeah, Sharks beat the Storm. Now this was a very good game of footy. 31-26, 25-12 at halftime. So the Sharks only scored 1 try in the second half after the Storm looked like they were coming to get them. Xavier Coates scoring 2 tries in the opening 7 minutes, I think, of the second half to get it back to within 2. They then scored a try, the Sharks, when they had to. So they scored a try to get to 31 and just give them enough breathing space, and then were plucky enough defensively. You've got to say, if you've got Adam Fanua-Blake in your team, and I know they signed him to win a comp, to go that next step. They've been in the top 4 the last few years. Well, he showed on the weekend, and you could see it in the war. He just looked like he was set for a game that he had. He looked like, well, I'm going to take this pack on, me. I'm going to take them on, drag everyone else with me, and let's see how good Melbourne are. And the Sharks were outstanding.
Starting to look top 4 again, the Sharks. They are 7-4 for the season. We move on to Sunday. Broncos, Dragons, incredible. Again, an incredible facet from within the 80 minutes was the Dragons got 2 tries while they were down to 12 men. While Jaden Sewer was in the sin bin, they scored 2 tries. Talk about your fighting wins. And I'll nominate, and I know you're on this page, Clint Gutherson. Is he the buy of the year? It might be a discussion point for tomorrow. 11 rounds into the season.
Yep.
Yes, May's been great for the Tigers, but
May's been good.
What a pickup Gutherson has been for the Dragons.
His impact on the game in the 30 minutes that when Sewell was sent off in the 49th was incredible. Scored the try. Only 3 minutes after Sewell was sent off. Was heavily involved in all the other work, and we were just talking about Payne Haas's run right near the end where he broke through the line. He was only 20 metres out. It was Gutho's tackle that stopped him. Gutho, with his body wrapped around him like a cheap
everything
suit, just gave it everything.
Cheap suit Gutherson.
Yeah.
Just a patchy old Vinny suit.
It was a game-winning tackle by him.
Yeah, I said in commentary, short of a bazooka, what would you do to stop Payne Haas? If he's at you and he's 3 metres from the line with full momentum, what do you grab? What do you do? Well, Gutherson just went body, grabbed whatever he could.
Yeah, and
it
enough
was
to
enough
stop
for
him.
the troops got there. And Brisbane, a world of problems. Just...
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really
we have
don't
no
know.
fix. We have no fix.
Corey said what was wrong with him. I got
effort areas and little things.
Little things, which I guess that's where you start. The Raiders, way too good for the Titans. And even though it was 18-12 at halftime, and the Titans did score the first try, the Raiders, outside backs. It's Xavier Savage, Matt Timoko. It's
Weeks.
Kyo Weeks. Good. Like, just so good.
Yeah.
Quick.
Strange is good at 5'8". Good break he made.
Strong,
Run.
tackle busting, athletic players.
Ricky's got a side here.
He has got a side.
Good stuff from Canberra Raiders. So that's great too. The Raiders enjoying a terrific season, third on the ladder, and the Brumbies top of the Super Rugby. That's a nice double for Canberra. And the last game of the weekend, Rabbitohs winning the Sunday night game against the Tigers 22-12. I feel as if the Tigers have gone backwards the last 2 weeks. Although Benji tried to put a positive spin on things at the completion of last night's game.
We had our chances there at the end, but wasn't to be. Round 11, our first bye, it's probably come at a real good time for us. Give us a chance to regroup, go through what's working and that. And the reality is we're 5 and 6, and a position we probably thought we could be better than. But at the same time, you've got to take stock of where we come from and take the positives away and get better for next week. I will do like a full mid-season review. Obviously it's our first bye, so the boys are pretty banged up, putting a lot of effort into the start of our season, and that's the best start we've had to a season in a number of years. So we can't rest on that though. We've got to try and find ways to keep improving, but this bye is coming at a real good time for us to just catch our breath. Got some banged up guys that probably could do it for a week off and focus on next week or the week after.
Yep, unfortunate. Lockie Galvin scores that try, I think they win. They kick the goal, they win. They win 18-16.
I'm worried about Galvin's form. And there was some reports on Friday that the Tigers would be meeting today about plans for, people jump into, conclusions that it's a possible early release or what they're going to do with Lockie Galvin's contract. So there'll be more news on that down the track. And as for the winners, South Sydney, well, again, I think they've shown themselves this year through 11 rounds. No side has more character. There are sides with as much character, but maybe no sides with more character than South Sydney. No.
That was a good win in the end. Fought hard, but didn't seal the win until the last couple of minutes with the Jai Arrow try.
Little addendum there.
Appy, just on Appy. Appy's 2 tries, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Reece Robson would be thinking, I haven't done that. I haven't done that all year. What Appy did last night was a good performance. The curtain raiser to last night's game, they did play the New South Wales Cup at Campbelltown, and the Magpies beat South Sydney. There's Lewis Dodd batting away for, seriously, this guy. So at Newcastle, you've got Jackson Hastings at 700,000 plus, 800?
Yes, Jacko Hastings.
Not even cited.
Not even
and
mentioned.
Lewis Dodd, 1 start, 1 bench appearance. And there he is. New South Wales Cup, they were beaten, kicked a goal, kicked the conversion late.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, sometimes they get it wrong. Weekend Rap says Cronulla Eel, this is his. Para played terrible, Knights were just way worse. Manly scramble was brilliant, Cowboys absolute dog. Manly, unfortunately, to flog Para this week. Cronulla Eel, Ben, come on.
Wow.
Lift it.
How can Gutherson be the buy of the year when they're 1 win from last Vossy? No, but you're not assessing individual performance.
His attacking numbers are incredible. His attacking numbers are the best they've been in years.
Yes. Yeah.
In years.
His contribution across 80 minutes to a team that, as you quite rightly say, not doing great, is enormous. Enormous.
Yeah, enormous.
3 1-point losses.
Yesterday was...
Isn't that a stat? So we're doing the game yesterday. So Dragons have already had 3 1-point losses.
Yeah. What's the most of any team in a season?
So it's already, it is the second highest tally of all time. 3 1-point losses. Already 3 is in the history of the game. Penrith, 1969, had 5 1-point losses.
That's right.
You remember? Brandy remembers.
That's
Brandy
right.
remembers.
You were sitting on the hill for a few of those.
Where the ground was a post and rail fence around the outside.
I held a protest.
Yes.
After our 4th 1-point loss, I said, that's it.
Actually,
I'm not coming.
I've got a photo of that. There's a photo of there he is, young Brandy eating a big Charlie and a sunny boy up on the hill at Penrith watching the game.
Did I have a slug
brown
gun?
And white.
Did I have a slug gun strapped over the shoulder just to pick off those plumpers and stuff?
That's a great photo. Young Brandy, Penrith had 5 one-point losses in 1969. Dragons have already had 3. If they win 2 of the 3, if they win all 3 of the 3, well, look how they're sitting.
You know, Michael, doctors say a proper breakfast includes eggs, bacon, and breakfast with Vossy and Brandy. So get your daily fix through our socials and listen live on SEN Radio.